this episode of Purposely Curious, we discuss the ongoing saga between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Johnny Depp was accused of domestic violence, but audio that has been unearthed lately paints the picture that the abuser may have been Amber Heard. Get nice and cozy as we dive into this drama-filled case as this episode starts now. Hello, Leonie.
Greetings, Mary. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. You know, enjoying summer, the summer heat here. How are yourself?
I'm doing good. Same. Enjoying my time off, I guess.
Nice.
How, anything crazy happened this past week for you?
No, just been busy with a lot of computer work, a lot of podcast stuff. That's about it.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to enjoy summer, you know?
Yeah. There are a lot of people that are out and about, and it's almost like the virus is gone.
Yeah, which it's not.
Yeah.
But people are acting like it is, so that's kind of interesting, you know?
Yeah, it should be interesting to see what happens. If it acts anything like the flu, then numbers will go down in August or July probably, if it acts the same. But we'll see.
Yeah.
You just gotta everyone protect themselves, depending on whatever beliefs they have, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, on this episode, I wanted to actually talk about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's nasty divorce. But the reason I wanted to bring this subject up is, you know, obviously celebrities get divorced all the time, and sometimes it's amicable, sometimes it's really nasty. What brought this, you know, that caught my attention was the Amber Heard allegations of domestic abuse, and then things coming up after, where it seems that, you know, with proof, she was the one abusing Johnny Depp. But by this time, you know, when Johnny Depp provided receipts of all of this, you know, allegations of domestic violence, he had already been canceled, you know, because we live in the cancel culture, right?
Right.
So he had already been fired, I believe, from the Pirates of the Caribbean. And, you know, his career was basically really affected. And then Amber Heard, all of a sudden after that, you know, was advocating for the Me Too movement, because all this happened around the time that the Me Too movement really took off. And then, you know, she got the big role in Aquaman, and, you know, she just really, her career really went on another level.
Right.
A higher level, right? The reason, and I want to just say that everything that we're going to discuss on this episode is public information that's been publicized in YouTube, you know, like Radar Online, E! Online, USA Today, you name it. It's out there. Everyone knows about it. But I think for me, and also like the Me Too movement is such a huge movement that, you know, I feel had to happen to bring down people that were predators, right? And there's still people out there that are taking advantage of women. And, you know, it's a huge movement, but this case is not to minimize any of the Me Too movement. This is strictly on Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's divorce, and how she took advantage of a movement to be an advocate for it when what we're about to discuss, you know, everything kind of flipped and turned on her, and then accusations from her past came up as well prior to her meeting Johnny Depp as well. So I just thought that, you know, I don't like her. It's my opinion, based on how everything transpired, and it just made me think like, you know, this guy was canceled. We just took her word for it, right? And he didn't really say anything until, you know, the divorce and all the deposition and all this information started to come out. People started to be like, oh, you know, sounds like we canceled him too quickly.
Yeah, right.
So had you heard of it a little bit?
Yeah, I've heard quite a bit actually, and then I got so into it that I wasn't getting too much from the stories because there's so much fragmented information, that eventually, when the leaked
Mm-hmm.
audio came out, like everybody started running the full story, and then I started
Right.
watching YouTubers who were following this, exclusively, and listening to every breakdown of the audio clips and all that, and I was thinking, man, that's crazy. Like, you know, in the blink of an eye, he lost his career. He had,
Yeah.
whatever deals he had, projects he had for Disney, the next Pirates movie, whatever he had, like, he lost everything. Like everything was just like, done. We're done. And then it's like, oh shit, is the guy, is the guy an abuser? What's going on? And then all of a sudden, this, like you said, he went radio silent for a while, and then these tapes surfaced, and then I was like, all right, that's pretty crazy. Like this chick's nuts.
Yeah. Yes. So basically, I wanted to go over kind of a little bit of a timeline of how, this love story began and ended. I'm sure I don't have all the information because I know when I was looking into this, there's some people that delve into the audios and like will literally play the audio and video completely. So I tried to get as much as I could. So there might be information that I leave out, but it's because it's just everything is public, even the deposition videos. So it is a lot of information. So I'm gonna try to summarize, I guess, the key points. But they met on 2011 on the set of the movie The Rum Diary. And at the time of this movie, Johnny Depp was still with his partner at the time, which Paradis, I think her name is. They had been dating for 13 years, I read.
Wow.
So when they started filming in 2011, it seems like, Amber Heard was probably, I'm just assuming, guys, don't kill me for this. She was probably flirting with him. I don't know, because it sounds from, that they were in the beginning of 2012, Paradis and Johnny Depp were, I guess, living separate lives at that point. But this was after the movie was being filmed.
Right.
And then Paradis and Johnny Depp, after 13 years, I think, separated amicably. And then I believe rumors and started surfacing on the fact that Amber Heard and Johnny Depp were dating. Took them a while to actually finally say they were dating. And so definitely, people were saying that the chemistry on the movie was really strong and people felt it. So they finally made it official and started dating publicly. In December of 2014, apparently they had been engaged by then. But they were still very private about everything they were doing. I believe in February 4th of 2015, they finally married. So they had been together like about 2 years?
But yeah, a few years.
15? Yeah, before actually getting married. But the wedding only lasted about a year and a half. And so in May 23rd of 2016, Johnny Depp received papers that he was being summoned for divorce. And he learned this 2 days after his mother had passed away.
Oh, damn. What perfect timing, right?
Exactly. Let's look at the timing. Like, his mom just died. And you're going to still serve him with divorce papers 2 days later.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible that, because when you're in Hollywood, you have people that take care of your stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not defending her or anything, but it's possible, just to play devil's advocate for a second, that her people that were taking care of this, like her lawyers and like, she just said, yeah, serve him, but she didn't know when it's going to happen. And then those people serving didn't know, what happened to him, and they just served him, you know what I'm saying? So it's possible the bad timing was maybe not her fault entirely, But
Yeah.
who knows, right? I mean, who knows? But I mean,
Who
overall,
knows? Yeah.
it is just bad timing. It's stupid, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So she said it was irreconcilable differences. And then a week after that, she filed a domestic violence restraining order against Johnny Depp, which was granted by the court. Then she wrote what she wrote in court documents was, and I'm quoting here: during the entirety of our relationship, Johnny has been verbally and physically abusive to me. I endured excessive emotional, verbal, and physical abuse from Johnny, which has included angry, hostile, humiliating, and threatening assaults to me whenever I questioned his authority or disagreed with him. In these court documents, she also had photos of bruises on her face, which also then somehow, we're going to keep saying the word, somehow they were leaked to the press.
There's also an interesting story about those bruises, right? There's like a tie-in to her makeup artist or something.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't read.
Yeah, there's some side story about that where I think even now that person is kind of distancing herself from her because I think she was kind of alluding to like, hey, can you make this look for the next 17 days or whatever, you know, like those bruises and stuff, you know. So those bruises were not real, from my understanding. It was just a makeup job.
So, okay, so I have not heard that. But in a court filing, Johnny Depp's attorney, in response to that, wrote that Amber is attempting to secure a premature financial resolution by alleging abuse, or the quotes. But I did see that there was a political analyst or a lawyer who's famous, who also, around this time when all this came out, they were discussing the case. And she stated on live national TV that she lives in the same building as Amber Heard and that she saw Amber Heard in the elevator on that day, the day after that. She had no bruises whatsoever. She said it on live TV, and it's online if you guys search for it. So she, right off the bat, was like, I believe this is a lie.
Right.
And it's on, like, she was on live TV. It was like MSNBC, one of those channels. And so she was like, I live in the same building, and I saw her the day of, I saw her the day after. She swears this happened because I guess she would see her every day, and she herself. So it coincides with what you're saying, that the bruises were not real.
Yeah.
And I also saw that there were paparazzi pictures of her like the day after, like, you know, and they couldn't see them either. Again, but all of this came up, you know, when the allegations were happening. A lot of this stuff, not all of us are looking at these timelines of stuff, right? Now that the audio tapes were released, you know, you have people searching for the timeline. And so that's where you see that if we look back, it seems like it doesn't coincide with her story.
Right.
So then things got a little bit complicated for Mr. Johnny Depp. In 2016 of August, TMZ shared a video in which it claims that Johnny Depp can be seen throwing a wine bottle and glass in a kitchen, not directed at her, but in the kitchen. And she was also in the room. She denies leaking that video. Now, I'm saying the word again, leaking. So there seems to be leaking. Stuff is always leaking.
Right.
Right? So she denies. So how did TMZ get this personal in-home video?
Well, it's clear that both sides have been leaking stuff. They have through trusted sources. I mean, she might be doing it through herself, but at least through him, he probably has somebody, like his lawyer probably has the red line number to TMZ and is like, what do you want leaked? We'll leak it out right now, you know?
Yeah, but if this is a video of him throwing a bottle, making him look bad.
Yeah.
You
Clearly.
think his lawyers would?
No. I mean, she clearly leaked it.
Yeah.
But I mean, both sides are leaking stuff, right? But she clearly leaked it and then says, I don't know how that got out. And it's just like, come on, lady. You know, it's like clearly she's trying to stir up something to paint the picture that he's a violent man, you know?
Yeah. So remember we were talking about the bruises that she had. Also LAPD investigated because it's part of the court papers, the divorce court stuff. And apparently they didn't see anything when they visited her.
Yeah,
And that's also
that's the thing to to know is that at least here in LA, LAPD, when they see bruises, they start asking questions, and
mhm.
it doesn't matter who's at fault. It doesn't matter who started it. All they have to say is like, they ask a simple question. Did he do this? Did she do this? And if you say yes, they take that person away. Like
Mhm.
there's no question. I've seen women be, been taken away. I've seen men taken away because it's just like heated conversations and fighting, and the next one hits the other, and maybe it wasn't meant to be violent, but accidentally somebody got a bruise, or maybe it was violent. Either way, the police, they're like, okay, we'll settle this. We're taking you in. Sorry.
Yeah.
So if they didn't
Yeah.
see anything, that's kind of telling you something.
Right. Well, later also that month, they reached a $7 million divorce settlement, and she claims that she donated the entire amount to the American Civil Liberties Union with a particular focus in helping stop violence against women and to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. That has also been brought into question by Johnny Depp's side as well. Um, because apparently they don't believe that I don't think there's proof that she actually donated it.
Ooh, ouch.
Um, yeah, so I think what they're trying to say, or basically, if this is what you're claiming, yet there's no proof of it.
Right.
So there, it sounds like she stashed the money. And then my understanding too is that she wanted more than 7 million.
Oh, of
Um,
course. I mean,
yeah, but
he's
that's all she got.
yeah, he's got to be worth hundreds of millions, I'm sure, or at least
Four
that's
hundred million, I think
yeah,
I read.
yeah, and any divorce, it's like, come on, I want half, and it's just like, Jesus, like, I'm like, okay, it's nice to want half, but maybe that's what she went after, and then he's like, nope, all you're gonna get is this, take it or leave it, and then they just agreed and said, okay, she took the 7 million.
Yeah, yeah. So after all this is happening, so here she's getting divorced, starting, and around this time the Me movement was going, and so she got traction. She started talking, and her speeches, were wonderful speeches, and then she kept saying being a woman who's been battered, and so a lot of Johnny Depp's representative was saying, well, let's just say for the most part, this whole time, Johnny Depp isn't saying anything publicly,
Right,
really. She's just bashing him. She's leaking all these things, all this. So, what do? We all do? We all cancel him, right? He gets fired. He's losing a lot of money, and he keeps quiet for the most part. His lawyer does the talking, but when they do the talking, it's very lawyer conversations, right?
right.
That she's trying to take advantage, blah blah blah. Um, so around this time, May 30th, I believe, Johnny Depp's ex-wife I don't think he was ever married, ex Paradis, and their daughter Lily Rose came to his defense, and they wrote an open letter. And so I'm going to read a quote.
Yes.
To whom it may concern, Johnny Depp is the father of my two children. He is a sensitive, loving, and loved person, and I believe with all my heart that these recent allegations being made are outrageous. In all the years I have known Johnny, he has never been physically abusive with me, and this looks nothing like the man I lived with for 14 wonderful years. And then his daughters wrote, my dad is the sweetest, most loving person I know. He's been nothing but a wonderful father to my little brother and I, and everyone who knows him would say the same. So there was a lot of actual people who knew both of them who started to say, we don't believe this. Now this is they're already divorced. She got $7 million, and she's making the rounds talking about how she was, a victim of domestic violence. Um, Again, this is not us trying to talk down or say why, that you should never come forward. You should. If you are a victim of domestic violence, you should, right? I think for this case, we're just trying to show what has transpired since she made all these allegations public, right? So people started to come out, right? And so she, I guess her team said something in like response to what they wrote. It's a quote, right?
Yeah.
So this is her legal team. As a result of Amber's decision to decline giving an initial statement to the LAPD, her silence has been used against her by Johnny's team. Amber did not provide a statement to the LAPD in an attempt to protect her privacy and Johnny's career. We took the high road, unfortunately. Johnny's team immediately went to the press and began viciously attacking Amber's character. Amber is simply a victim of domestic violence and none of her actions are motivated by money. Amber is a brave and financially independent woman who is showing the courage of her convictions by doing the right thing against Johnny's relentless army of lawyers and surrogates. Surrogates, I guess, is against all the people who, I guess, came out and said it doesn't sound like him.
Right.
The family law court is not going to be influenced by misinformation placed in the social media based on anonymous sources. Amber is a victim. Amber is a hero. But at this time, basically what I was trying to get at is that they were, she was already getting paid to speak at things where even though she wasn't saying Johnny Depp, she was already, throwing her situation out there.
Yeah, and that's a huge problem because when the story is already out, you don't have to name him anymore. She could just keep on saying, I was abused, living with abuse, I live with an abuser, and that keeps hammering in people's heads, fuck that Johnny Depp, fuck that guy's an abuser, and it's just like, so she's using that to her advantage. So she's hiding behind the Me Too movement as she's using it as a shield, and to basically attack him, to say, hey, look at me, I'm a victim, you abused me, I'm a victim. And it's so easy for the masses to believe it, right? Any one of us every one of us were believing it, or maybe we're on the fence, but we're like, oh shit, it's like, damn, somebody else, because here you're thinking, in the age of technology where some people always find a way to record stuff, right? Cell phones and video and this, she's got to be telling the truth, right?
Right.
She's got to be telling the truth, and that sucks. This dude, what the fuck? Is he an alcoholic? Is he a wife beater? Like, what's going on? But yeah, we want to believe her. That's the problem.
Yeah. And in all this, she was also seeking $50,000 a month in spousal support in conjunction with the $7 million.
Wow.
They had only been married a year. 15 months.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah. I mean, Lord. I honestly need to have a lawyer on this show one day to explain that to me.
I mean, I've always seen numbers like that when kids are involved, for child support and all that. But I'm like, the fuck does she need support for? It's like, she got $7 million for 12, 13 months of marriage, 15 months of marriage, or whatever. It's like, you're asking for a lifetime of support now, $50,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like,
or
wow.
I wonder if it's only for a specific time that they. It comes off that like lifetime, right?
Yeah,
but
it does, right?
I wonder if there's like a time equation.
Right.
I'm gonna have to send a few texts afterwards to find out. But in August of 2016, when she was going to testify during the divorce trial, apparently she refused to enter the deposition room and cried and screamed before going in. And so I'm sure you guys have seen on TV where it's not like trial where the judge is there, the jury's there. It's just, deposition. They're just sitting in a room and both lawyers are there and they're asking you questions. So apparently she refused to enter and made a scene before entering.
Is that because he showed up? Is that he was there? Is that why?
I did not see that. Is that why? Maybe you have more information.
I
No, I don't know.
Okay, because I did read a story that he actually flew. And this went down to England, I believe, London or something. Because he flew to London, and I remember the story was like surprise visit by Johnny Depp or something like that for the case. I don't know which part of the case or what phase they were in, but I know that he showed up like face to face. I wonder if that was the case where she was probably tipped off and her lawyer told her, "Hey, he's here in the next room," and she probably freaked out because she's like, "Holy shit!" Like, what's he doing here?
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I wonder.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he was. That's the reason why.
Yeah. Huh. And so in 2016 of December, Johnny Depp's people came after her for a request for them to pay legal fees of $100,000.
Damn.
And the reason is because they said that she continued to, in quotes, needlessly litigate a case which has been settled. Because remember, she had already settled for the $7 million.
Right.
All while parading in front of the media in desperate attempt to extend her 15 minutes of fame. Now, if these allegations of domestic violence were... So at this point, right, all of us are on her side, right? Everyone's on her side, and they're probably thinking, like, why are they shading her, right?
Right.
15 minutes of fame is a little jab. And so what her people said was, this is just another attempt by Mr. Depp and his team not to pay my client money that she is owed. In January 2017, he was on the cover of GQ. And so the battle of the divorce was kind of like coming to an end. And so what I'm going to quote what he said. Or no, wait, this was no, this was her who said that. She was just happy that the divorce was over. And so the court dismissed the request of Johnny Depp's people for her to pay the $100,000 in fees. And it's now we're going back to the Vogue thing where he opens up in an interview. And so this is what Johnny Depp said in October of 2018, in quotes. The thing that hurt me is being represented as something that you're really, really as far away from as you could possibly get, And that was in the way, I guess he was just upset that he was being represented, and that was not the way that he felt he was.
Right.
And so her team basically went on public record and said that he continues his psychological abuse of Mrs. Heard, who has attempted to put this, I guess, in her past. And, he just said that he just didn't like that he was being represented the way he was, when he knows it's not true. And
right.
Then, her team was like, he's still abusing her, as you can tell, because he won't let it go.
Right.
I mean, would you let it go if someone was making up shit from you publicly?
No. It's like, it would take every ounce of will in me and then some to restrain me from defending myself. It's like, if I knew I'm not in the wrong, I have to defend myself, but then again, I understand he was probably counseled by some very smart lawyers and said, hey, cool off for a little bit. Like, I know it's going to hurt. Don't say anything for, X amount of time, but we got a plan,
Mm-hmm.
And during this time, it's like, he's an actor, right? And, he's got some busy projects going on, but he's also in a band.
Yes.
He's in a band with Alice Cooper and Joe Perry, Hollywood Vampires, right? He's touring, So it's like, why would he spend, all this extra energy, free time to just sabotage her career? You know what I'm saying? It's like, he doesn't fit that profile, especially when he's being a father to his kids who are in school, I think in high school, right? If I'm not mistaken, or middle school.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, you mean to tell me that, he's spending all his time just to try to bury this girl? And it's like, No, I think this girl's the one with all her free time, and she's coming up with, you know, like, hey, put me in front of a camera, like, I'll give a speech and tell you all about the abuse, and then it's like, oh, by the way, cast me in the next movie. Don't forget me. Remember, I'm famous. Remember me?
Yeah. So also, the Sun, it's like a newspaper gossip
Yeah,
column in England.
right.
They had, I guess, like called him a wife beater in one of their articles. And so what he did, Johnny Depp maybe was getting tired of this bullshit, right?
Yeah,
He basically sued the Sun for $50 million in a defamation lawsuit against them and her, because apparently she also was part of, she was their Me Too, quote unquote, Me Too source.
okay.
And so when he sued the Sun, and they might have had private investigators. Johnny Depp included references of dozens of videos of security tape, audio, eyewitness statements, also newly discovered sworn affidavits and deposition transcripts, text messages between the Sun and their quote unquote Me Too source. So this is where all this started to come public. And so last year, when he decided, I'm going to use all this as evidence, right, of
Right.
defamation, all this information came out. And so basically his lawyers were saying that her accusations were a product of an elaborate hoax to enhance her own career. And in this defamation suit against her and the Sun, right, because they conspired together on that article,
Right.
where they called him a wife beater. He claimed now that he was violent and abused, and he had receipts in form of audio, video, pictures, and eyewitness accounts.
Wow.
So this is 3 years after she leaked footage of her eyes, bruised up, and then people saying publicly on live TV, I don't believe that because I saw her. I live in the same building, same floor as her, and the dates don't coincide with what I saw
Right.
from talking to her. So now he's got video, pictures, audio of her, everything, and he's suing both of them. Now, if we're not going to go into detail necessarily, but the videos are out there online on YouTube if you want to hear them. They're out there, and they're, this is why when I heard them, I was like, excuse my language, fuck the bitch. Like,
Right. That's what I thought too.
have you heard them?
Yeah, I watched them all. I listened to everything. I even listened to some really good analysis on them. Like, these people were breaking it down, word for word, minute by minute. And I was thinking, wow, like this girl is a manipulative, person. She's taking control. She's twisting the whole conversation around. And this is, mind you, this is right after she's admitting to, like, yeah, I hit you, so what, basically. And she's basically telling them, like, like, I didn't fucking hit you, whatever. It's like, and then later she says, how she hit, and I'm just like, holy shit, But there's also there's an incident, right, where she threw a bottle at him.
Yeah. She threw a bottle of him. And so I don't know if it was her
It was her.
that was. So all these audio tapes in their homes, they are being recorded somehow. But I think he got onto it. It's what I'm thinking, and he started recording them as well.
Right.
Because they're the one that basically was very. There's a video where she had said something like she punched him.
Right.
And she argued it and was like, I didn't punch you. I slapped you, I kept hitting you. There's a difference between punching and hitting.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And then she basically was like, who's going to believe you? Who's going to believe a man of your weight?
Right.
Compared to someone like me. This is all on audio tape that is public, guys.
Right.
I'm not making this shit up.
Right.
So as this stuff is going public, people are like, fuck this bitch.
Yeah.
Here she is on video. I'm not on video, on audio, basically saying no one's gonna fucking believe you, asshole.
Right.
They're, a man of your height and stature, who the fuck is gonna believe you?
Yep.
I didn't punch you, I just hit you a shitload. There's a difference between punching and hitting.
Right.
Yeah. So people who are online started to see this, they started the hashtag justice for Johnny Depp, because people were starting to catch on to this and be like, holy shit, right?
Yep.
Not only that, in the deposition, this is from their divorce, the lawyer would ask her certain questions and you can see how annoyed she was. Now, I wasn't a part of that, or when this all came out, none of us had seen that footage, right? She's shady as fuck. If you look at that deposition video, you can tell that she's guilty, and she would look at her lawyer,
Oh, yeah.
should I answer this? Or did you watch any of it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. She's got that look where she's just like, she doesn't know what to do, because obviously she's caught in her own web of lies, and there's so much either video or audio proof, right? And she doesn't know how to defend herself anymore. And she's just trying to, in her mind, she's trying to distort reality to really make it seem like I'm still the victim. Don't you guys see it? He abused me, Yeah. But I want to mention this. I want to go back to the tapes for a second.
Yes.
Because there is a mention of when she throws a bottle at him. Now, the reason why I mentioned that is because I don't know if you heard this story, but when she threw a bottle at him, it severed the tip of his pinky finger.
Yes. So there's also pictures of him in this lawsuit of defamation where he literally lost the tip of his finger, guys. And there's pictures of it. The medical record states how he lost it, which was with a fight with his wife, right?
Yeah.
And he started recording the audio. And I did hear this. The audio while he's in the hospital of basically she's in the background in the ER crying. If you listen to all these audios, if you guys go on YouTube, just search this, she comes off like psycho. Like
she is psycho.
She's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But none of us knew any of this.
Right.
And everybody fucking canceled Johnny Depp. Right. He lost his fucking job. And here she is doing DC movies. Biggest shit she's done. I watched it. Shit, I was Mara for Halloween last year.
Yeah, you were.
You know what I mean? I had the red wig going.
Oh, hell yeah, you did.
Do you get what I'm saying? And so by, all this is coming to light because Johnny Depp was like, fuck this. We're going to bring out receipts. You want to play this game? Let's do it. It's probably because I think Johnny Depp would have let it go. But if it wasn't because she kept getting paid for talking about domestic abuse.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? That he was probably like, I'm sick and tired of this. Like she keeps acting this way. She's not saying my name, but all the shit she's talking about, it's obviously everyone's going to think of me.
Not only that, but wasn't she crowned like the spokesperson for one of the organizations that are tied in closely to Me Too? She was like the spokesperson. And I'm like, is that the person you want speaking for your organization? You know what I'm saying?
And that's why he made everything public.
Yeah.
You're right. Mm-hmm. Because she was a victim. And again, I'm not saying that Johnny Depp wasn't an asshole or anything.
Right.
But he never said anything until now. He's like, okay, you're writing this on the Sun with the Sun. You guys are calling me a wife beater. So I'm going to just put it all out there. And like literally he came out with receipts. You guys need to listen to the audio. She straight up is like, no one's going to fucking believe you.
Yep.
No one is going to fucking believe you. If you look at also the audio of the hospitalization, she's fucking crazy on that too.
Yeah.
Before this, he never once said she severed my fucking finger off.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he kept that out of the divorce. But he's just like, fuck it. He's probably over it. He's like, that's it. So people are now on his side. People have apologized to him and said, I jumped the fucking gun.
Right.
I apologize. And that's the thing that upsets me, is that the Me Too movement is a powerful movement that we all need to get behind.
Right.
But she fucking took advantage of it.
Yeah, it's like, like they say, in the fairy tales, crying wolf.
Yeah.
It's like you can't cry wolf, because you keep crying wolf, and then eventually people are going to stop listening, and so she's tarnishing that movement because she's claiming to be an abuser. She's claiming this and that, and it's just like, she's a psycho. She just wants attention. She wants the next role, Now, here's what bothers me a lot. She was Mira in Aquaman, right?
Yes.
Huge franchise, DC Universe, and Aquaman was directed by one of my favorite directors, okay, James Wan. He comes from the horror community. James Wan is a genius director and probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He's responsible for starting the Saw franchise, the Insidious franchise, the Conjuring franchise, and all the Annabelle spin-off movies. He's the mastermind behind all that. Super nice guy, super hardworking, and he gets stuck with this psycho, okay? So imagine right now they're thinking, because obviously Aquaman 2 is going to start filming soon. If not, it already started. Who knows, right? But she's a character, right? In the franchise, yeah, yeah, she's one of the main characters. So it's like, what are they doing? Like, part of me wants to tell him, dude, fire that bitch. I'm like, get rid of her. She's cancer. I hope they do, because
and we can talk about that, because if they don't, is that a double standard? In the sense that she's now on audio saying she beat the shit out of her husband.
Right.
He lost a fucking finger because of her.
Right.
We were quick to cancel him and fire him.
Yes. Yeah.
And so she still has a job. So what if they don't fire her? What does that say?
It's going to look...
I'm just putting it out there.
Well, it's going to look bad on Warner Brothers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's, they should have known better. They chose to ignore everything and just side with her. It's going to be bad PR for that movie. And even though the movie comes out, she won't do another movie. They'll completely let her go. They'll fire her, whatever, But on the flip side of the coin, it's like Johnny Depp's whole movie career was let go. Like, his Disney projects, Disney let go of him,
Mm-hmm.
Like, Disney don't mess around, because Disney's like, family friendly, kid friendly, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, nope, don't want any, you're done, dude. Like, we're out of, and it's just like, dude, you just canceled the whole guy's career,
We all canceled him.
Yeah.
I was guilty of being like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, so Johnny Depp, I apologize, because when I delved into all the stuff, holy shit, I canceled you too quickly. And I apologize. We're very quick to run with it, right? And so we don't want women to not come forward. That's not at all what this is about.
Right.
This is about that one woman who took advantage of a movement to make her case, to get money, and essentially ruined a career. He is working, he is doing stuff, but it's taken a hit, a big hit.
For sure. For sure. And there are other cases out there that we're not going to bring up today. We could discuss in future episodes that are not as crazy, but just as impactful, where people, lost their careers for a minute, or their jobs, and were not believed, and now they're divorced, and now they lost their, and it's sad. It's really sad, because, we get to sit back on Twitter, Instagram, social media, whatever, and just judge people in a heartbeat of a second. Like, fuck that guy. Yeah. Retweet, fuck that guy. Hashtag fuck you, cancel, fuck you, whatever, And it's just like, dude, it's like, we don't even know the facts. We don't even know what's going on,
Yeah.
But it happens. And there's been at least 3 or 4 incidents so far over the past few years, in notable cases that people will recognize the names. I'm not going to bring them up here now. And of course, that's just the names we know. What about all the people we don't know? Like the average office worker, right? Like a legal secretary, or, an office assistant in our entertainment business, right? Or, this stuff happens all the time. And it's a great movement, because it's time to stand up. It's time to say, hey, time's up. We're not putting up with this, shit, sexual harassment, any of that stuff, So I think it's a great movement, and
Yeah, so do I.
I'm happy that women are coming forward and telling their stories, because it's like, there are a lot of toxic environments out there, in every aspect, science, entertainment, legal, medicine. There's all sorts of people that are, women, or maybe even men, okay,
Yeah.
in some cases, but probably the majority of women that are being harassed. And it's like, it's got to stop, it's got to stop. And I think it's a great movement, and I'm glad people are behind it. But now it's like, we got to be cautious, because now you have this chick crying wolf, and we love her, right? Hot, pretty young thing, right? Pretty face, hot thing, one of the hottest movies that year. Oh, we believe her, right? That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like, she needs to be held accountable for all that. Whoever she's
Yeah.
the spokesperson for, whatever that organization is that's propping her up, they gotta fire her. They gotta say, sorry, you're tainted. You can't be speaking for us. We don't want you on the microphone on TV saying about you've been abused or whatever, because chances are
Yeah.
that didn't happen,
Yeah. So when all of these accusations started to come up, when Johnny Depp started to provide all of these receipts, audios, video, you name it, she had already a contract with oh Lord, I can't remember who it was, but it was like a hair L'Oreal, was it? I'm
Yes, it
not
was
sure.
it was one of those Maybelline,
Yeah.
L'Oreal, yeah.
Yes. So literally this week I saw a commercial for L'Oreal. It's like a hair to color your hair.
Mm-hmm.
And they had basically the hairstylist talking. And then you see the woman with blonde hair kind of move her hair. And for a split second, you see that it's her, Amber Heard.
Yep.
But it was only a split fucking second.
Yeah.
They haven't dropped her, maybe because they had already filmed all that.
Right.
But I was like, that was a split second of her face.
It's possible
So
she had
it sounds like they're censoring how much time they're giving her.
Well,
so it sounds like for contractual obligations, maybe everything was already done. They
Yeah,
used her, but she's not talking. You know how women usually talk?
yeah,
I
it's
love
possible.
coloring my hair.
It's possible she had a speaking role in that commercial,
Yes,
and they
edited it.
Yep. So all you see now is a glimpse, because they have to pay her.
Yes, yes. So there is a split second, and I literally saw this week, and I was like, okay, they haven't dropped her yet, but
Right.
I noticed that this isn't normal. They showed her face for a split second, and
Right.
it was the guy, the hairstylist talking.
Right.
So what all came about this as well is that, people are out there, people are detectives, right? Is that they uncovered that Amber Heard had been arrested in 2009 for domestic violence for hitting her girlfriend at the time. Did you hear about
Ooh.
this?
The plot thickens. I
Yes.
did hear a little bit about it. Yes.
Yeah. So, she has a history of domestic abuse. So this was at the Seattle Tacoma International Airport in Washington State on September 14th, 2009. She basically was struck her, and she was charged with misdemeanor assault in the 4th degree domestic violence, but they had dropped the case because she lives in California,
Right.
and so they didn't pursue it. She was arrested though and has a mugshot. And she was taken into the King County District Court the next day. And so her ex-girlfriend said that she was wrongfully accused of this and it was blown out of proportion. She only said that when it became public, right?
Right.
And so she basically made, this was, let's see. I'm going to read her statement, okay?
Yeah.
This is the ex-girlfriend who, for them to arrest her, someone had to call the cops. Yes or no?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Okay.
somebody did, right? I mean,
Yeah. So what she wrote is, I recall hints of of like it's like homophobic attitudes
right,
appeared when she, when they were when she was arrested. She wrote, it's disheartening that Amber's integrity and story are being questioned yet again. Amber is a brilliant, honest, and beautiful woman, and I have the utmost respect for her. We shared 5 wonderful years together and remain close to this day. Now, she said the fact that her story is being questioned yet again, she and then she said that the arresting officers were homophobic. The arresting officer is openly gay.
right,
She is openly gay.
right.
Do you see where I'm going?
Yeah,
Like,
she's
you don't even know, she didn't even know that when she put that out there. So now her ex, who Amber Heard beat up basically and went to jail for, saying the arresting officer was homophobic, when the
right,
arresting officer is openly gay
right.
and a woman, you know.
Yeah.
Now tell me this doesn't make her look bad.
You know, it sounds like in every situation in her life that remotely goes wrong, even just a little bit, right? She tries to throw anything at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah.
In this case, she got hit with the curveball because it's like, oh, I'm gonna say that this cop was using gay homophobic gay language or something, right? And it's like, nope. Turns out the cop is
the
gay.
cop is yeah, the cop
So-
was a woman who happens to be a lesbian.
Right.
And here you were saying that the cop was homophobic.
Right.
Like,
So it's like she never in the world thought she would be caught in that one, and guess what? She did. So
and now this was the ex-girlfriends who said that. It wasn't Amber
Right.
Heard. But still, I'm sure Amber Heard told her, can you please put out a statement that it was a misinterpretation blown out of proportion. I'm assuming,
Right.
but I'm almost certain that Amber Heard told her,
right.
put out a statement. And so that's the statement that the ex wrote, was that the cop was a homophobic
Right.
when the cop herself is is gay. So yeah, no, bitch, sit down. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry.
You know who's been awfully silent and it bugs me so much. But then again, he's kind of a weirdo himself. Is her ex-boyfriend? Do you know who she dated before Johnny Depp?
No.
She was going out with Elon Musk.
Oh.
From Tesla.
Has he been quiet? Actually, I feel like I saw that he said something recently.
I haven't heard nothing. Like, I would expect them to say, yeah, that I left that crazy bitch, something, but no, he said nothing. I feel like there's something weird that happened in that relationship. Mind you, he is a weird guy because he's on his 6th marriage, I think, or something, or 7th marriage, and he has, he just has a newborn baby that he can name with a bunch of symbols and stuff. So he is a weird guy, but he got rid of her. Okay, so I love to know that. I would love to know that story. Like, I want to know what happened there because something happened. There's a pattern of crazy. She doesn't just decide to go crazy with Johnny Depp. She went crazy on him too. Something happened. But luckily for her, Elon Musk works 200 hours a week. He's never around.
Yeah.
So, he ain't putting up with that, you know what I'm saying? But still, something happened.
Yeah. So based on what we've discussed, there's a pattern with Amber Heard of,
Craziness.
being and striking out. She says she hits people. She doesn't punch them.
Right.
That's what's on audio.
There's a difference, that, Mary?
I
There's a
hit
difference.
you a lot. So what I want everyone to take from this is go ahead, look online. I support the Me Too movement. I really do. But I was upset by the fact that she continues to speak out as a victim when now we have video, audio, pictures, right?
Right.
That prove that it was the other way around.
Yeah.
And yet we canceled him. His career took a big hit. And she's still out there playing the victim role. And not only that, she was arrested for domestic violence in 2009 prior to even meeting Johnny Depp for beating the shit out of her other ex.
Yeah.
who then claimed that the cops were homophobic, only to learn after she made that public that the fucking cop who arrested was she was a gay woman. Like,
Right.
come on. Like,
Yeah.
so the court will be continuing. So I think the next court date is in August, I believe.
Yes, it's in August. Yeah.
Yes. And then the other thing is that she was just notified that her lawyers have asked to come off because apparently now the people who were representing her are big in the Me Too movement, lawyers.
Oh, interesting. I
And
know
so
that.
they just announced they will be stepping out of the case. But their claim
Gee,
is
I
they
wonder
don't
why.
have, well, this is their claim. Their claim is they don't have the funds. It's too costly for them to go to the UK because of coronavirus.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Sorry.
That's what they are claiming.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so she's accepted it. Obviously doesn't have
She got $7 million.
a choice.
She
I'm
can
sorry?
afford. She got $7 million. She could afford a couple of first class seats to the UK.
Yes. So basically, her lawyers and the team quit, and that was the reason. So her lawyers are the ones who co-founded the Time's Up Legal Defense Fund. So they're big shots in this movement. A lot of people think that even though they are saying it is because of the coronavirus and the involved, if anything, flights are cheaper now. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Right.
They're fucking dropping her. They're quitting because I think they realize Johnny Depp came with receipts.
Yep.
And he's here to fucking go all the way. He's gonna take it to the fucking end.
Yep. Yep. He sure is. Now let me ask you this though. How do you fix the situation? I want you to tell me how would you fix the situation? What needs to happen here? How do you fix this for both of them?
I think if I was the Time's Up organization, I would not have her be an advocate for it. If that were me, just because there's all these audios, videos, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Her straight up saying, no one's going to believe you, Johnny.
Right.
Who's going to believe that your ass is beating me up?
Right.
Yes, I'm fucking hitting you, bitch, is what she basically says.
Right.
But I'm not punching you. I would drop her. I really would. I think people need to apologize to him. If they decided to do another Pirates of the Caribbean, I think, honestly, I really do think that Disneyland should talk to him. You know what I mean? But I realize it's very tough. Very, very tough. I do think she needs to be dropped.
Yeah, I totally agree. She needs to be dropped. But then it's like, okay, Warner Brothers needs to step up too and say, hey, we're dropping you. You're out. You know what I'm saying? She needs to like admit her faults, go into psychiatric help publicly to say, hey, I'm mentally unstable. And,
is she though? Is she mentally unstable?
Yeah, she totally
or
is.
is she a conniving bitch? There's a difference.
It's one thing.
I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? I'm saying is like, yeah, people do have mental problems.
She's
mean?
definitely got something.
Does she have mental problems, or is she a fucking conniving person?
But it ties into the mental problems. It ties into the narcissism.
You can choose. So narcissism is a mental health problem? I don't buy it.
No. What I'm saying is, she's using her. She's taking. If you look at everything that she's done, she's using every single situation, and she's just
to her advantage.
Yes, well, she's making up things. She's lying. She's manipulating. She's distorting everything, and that she can to defend, not to just to defend herself. She's beyond defending herself to justify herself. It's one thing to defend yourself, but it's like no. She's telling you, no. I'm telling you because I'm right. That's what she's trying to say, and it's just like, whoa, lady, like not only are you wrong, but you're lying over and over and over again. So there's some kind of mental problem there. Like, I don't know. I wish, that some doctor would come forward and say, yeah, she's got some kind of dissociative ID disorder or something, that,
Yeah, I guess I
know,
get what you're saying. I think
yeah.
for me, I feel like she's choosing to be malicious.
Well, it's
She's
both. It's
choosing.
both.
Yeah. So we'll disagree on that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just so passionate about this shit.
No, it's just, I don't want to write it off and just say, yeah, it's mental illness. We got to, feel sorry for her. No, I don't feel sorry for her because you're right.
So is beating up, let's say I'm a woman and I beat up all my boyfriends. Does that mean I have a mental health problem?
No, but like, you have a different kind of problem, right? Because you're beating someone. But what I'm saying is, look at your actions in the public, right? Look at all the lies you're telling,
Yeah.
and all the manipulations you're making, and look how you're being caught, and you're still lying, and you're still saying, no, I'm still the victim. But wait a minute, there's evidence against you. No. Remember me, I'm the victim. So there's some kind of problem mentally with her where she still believes that she's still the victim, that she's owed the world, that people should, and it's just like, that's just like, there's something wrong there. I don't know how you diagnose that or what that is. But on top of that, yes, I do agree with you that she's choosing to do this as well, But what's the driving force,
Fame. It's fame and money.
But that can't be all, all of it. And there's got to be, there's also some weird story that ties into her parents. And if you dig deeper into the story, it's got something to do with Johnny Depp texting her parents. Because apparently he has a good relationship with her parents.
Okay.
And I think they know the truth as to how crazy fucking psycho she is.
Okay.
But
we all have parent issues.
Yeah, and it's not like her parents are defending her.
Yeah.
I honestly think I think her parents are on his side, to be honest with you. So they know something.
Sometimes.
They know something,
We'll have to delve into this more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some of it's already out there. You just gotta dig deeper.
Yeah.
A lot more will come out,
Oh, yes. And because I think the court, when they actually go to trial in the UK, is in August of this year.
Right.
It's not getting as much public scrutiny right now. I think this would be a bigger story. But, we got COVID, we got fucking depression, like,
yeah,
shit's going on. But that's why I YouTube, if you want to hear all the audio, see everything, it's all online. Educate yourself. And, also just, I know earlier I said if I beat up all my boyfriends, guys out there, I'd never put my hands on any of my boyfriends. So I'm just saying. I'm crazy, but I won't beat them up, if anyone was wondering.
No, Mary's a nice woman. I can attest to that.
Aw, thank you. Not always. So I'm very nice, very, very nice. But if I need to defend, I will, and I will say shit. But definitely this is something that I'm going to keep my eye on. And then like I said, I'm a big supporter of the Me Too movement. I myself have been sexually harassed in my lifetime. I'm sure as a lot of women have, and I'm sure that there are men who have also. Me Too is not just about women.
Right.
Sometimes we women sexually harass men, and that's a fact, right?
That's true.
Goes both ways. The problem I had was the fact that she used that movement to her benefit.
Right.
We all fell for it. And then 2019 hits and he's fucking over it. He brings out the receipts with video, audio, and it's the other way around. And then because of this, we have a history where she was also arrested for domestic violence 11 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a pattern. And I think I just wanted to talk about the fact that in this case of these two people, we jumped the gun and maybe judged him, canceled him, when in fact she was lying. So anyway, I got really passionate there towards the end. You can tell I don't like her.
That makes two of us.
So if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. If you have any opinions about this case, please feel free to hit me up on Twitter or on Instagram, Purposely Curious Podcast. definitely, I'm sure there might be other opinions where maybe people feel that she's being, misunderstood or, but I just wanted to talk about this one case where, you accuse someone of something and then find out that it was probably the other way around. And so that's sad.
It is sad. It is sad.
But thank you for everyone for listening. And I hope you guys, I have a few interviews coming up with people that are not Leone. So
What?
I did tell Leone, I felt like I was cheating on him.
What?
Yes. So if you don't hear him in some episodes, he's still around. I just, now that some of the quarantines kind of lifted, people are feeling a little bit more comfortable, and I myself am feeling a little bit more comfortable to maybe be able to interview people here and there more as we get more comfortable with our new normal, right?
Right.
Yeah, so Leone, thank you again for making me stick with this, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, you gotta stick with
that you're in my life. So
that makes two of us. It's a mutual thought, though.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. So I will be seeing you guys next time, or you guys will be hearing me next time. So thank you for listening, and Leone, I hope you have a wonderful week.
You too, Mary. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye. That was episode 14 of the Purposely Curious podcast. Make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcast and Spotify, and follow us on social media and at Purposely Curious on Instagram and at Purposely C Pod on Twitter. That's Purposely, the letter C, Pod. Until next time, you know what to do.